I'm Grandmother Johnette Crowley, coming to you from Denver, Colorado, with our March Consciousness Update. So I'm a channel, a shaman, a mystic, and a world traveler. And so I put together the things that I see in my inner work, I see working with clients. So March. It is a turbulent month. I'm saying the winds of change are upon us. And, with the wind, we can either fight the wind or we can go with it. And March is going to have us doing a little bit of both, really. So the turbulence of March, I'm saying steer clear of fear. Turbulent month, there's a lunar eclipse, there's a solar eclipse this month, bringing balance. There's the spring equinox on the 20th of March, and that's really about balancing the light and the dark. And later in the month is really it's the beginning of the new zodiac on March 29th. March 30th is when Aries moves into Neptune, and I'm not an astrologer, but it's going to be there 14 years. And it's really about a new journey. And let's look at a hero's journey. On a hero's journey, you're met with challenges, and you're tested, and you're strengthened, and you're tested again, and you get strength. And at the end of this hero's journey, you have learned your lessons. You have incorporated your strengths. So we're really at a time of transition, and it is a call for this hero's journey. It's really a collective wake-up call. And in times of transition, we can go to fear, or we can really become more self-reflective, more like the mast of a sailboat rather than the flapping waves. So my call to you for this March is really to reconnect with your inner, strong, divine self. I just did a activation, trilogy of activation about the gifts from the stars, and it was about soul alignment. So you might want to look at that. I just recorded it last week. So being aligned in your power, aligned with your stars on your hero's journey is going to be very important. So connecting with the self, say no to the scattered, frenetic energies, the frantic energies, the news clips that take us off our center. Keep coming back to your mast, to your inner strength, your inner principles, your inner light. That's where the cosmic help is. That's where the flow is. And maybe ask yourself, when was it did you decide to give your happiness over to the outside world? The outside world is not in charge of keeping you happy. It's not very good at that. So March, with all its frenetic energy and all its turbulence, come back to this inner core of self-reflection. And this is also the month of Ramadan. And Ramadan is about kind of checking out of all the external things that pull us in every direction. It's about getting closer to God, getting closer to self, letting go of those desires that drive us, practicing self-discipline, being more God-centered, more pious. So we might want to take some pages out of the book of Ramadan and see if, especially this month, you can find that center. And it's not really about all our needs and desires. So in these turbulent times, it's not that things are falling apart. It's as if there's two rivers coming together. And one is the river, I'm going to call it, of super consciousness. It's always been there and it's coming, but we've been on this side channel of turbulence. This river's rocky, it's turbulent, and it's hitting this super consciousness, this place of infinity. And so when two bodies of water hit, it creates more turbulence. And that's what you're feeling. Please try to move your intention and attention to this river of higher light, higher consciousness that you've dedicated your life to. But this other river, as it comes in, there's a lot of crashing waves, and it could upend us, upend our little kayak. So really stay focused. And I'm reminded of something that Mark channeled to a client this month, and it was very helpful for me. Mark said that the very kind of basic level of our consciousness, our ego, is needs. You know, I need this, I need survival. And that's kind of our immature baby self, where it needs to be taken care of. It's focusing on it. It has no will of its own. It's got no choice. It's desperate. It's unconscious, can be selfish, helpless. It's kind of in survival. And that's where a lot of humanity is stuck right now. And we all go back and forth into this kind of infantile, helpless, needy stage. And in that stage, we are dependent. We are dependent on the outside world for our happiness or for our food, if we're a baby. Then the next level of development is where we have desires. So we go from needs, where there's no will, where there's just, I need this for survival, to having wants and desires. And that's where we set our intentions. We have our goals. We're purpose driven. We have choice, and that's a much healthier place. But we can get stuck in this desires area of what I want and what I desire. And Mark suggested that this next level, and he didn't have a name for it, but I'm calling it super consciousness, where we emerge out of being driven by our wants, our desires, our needs, to this place rather than of me, of we, this super consciousness place where we're beyond needs, we're beyond even desires. There's this beingness space. And if you can step into that space more and more often, because during transitional times, there's turbulence, but you can also find what I call the transitional void. And that's this still place where nothing's happening, but there's a centeredness, there's a consciousness that's connected. That is getting stronger. So this month, we're having the equinox on March 20th, and I will be doing a trilogy activation for that. I'll talk about that at the end. But some mystics say that March 20th, this equinox, is actually the ending of the Kali Yuga, which means the age of darkness. Some mystics in India have looked at the stars and they say they're pinpointing it at that day. But we know that we're really at a time where this gathering light is supporting us, but it's also disrupting what we've come to know. So be kind to yourself. We're on a hero's journey. You're the hero, and there's no shortcutting the lessons and the strengthening that the journey gives us. Steer clear of fear, especially because it's churned up everywhere. And it's only our ignorance, really, that keeps us tied to the outside world for our happiness. Once we come back to our mast, our center, then we can fly through these turbulent times. And this year 2025 is the year of reconnection. So it's about reconnecting your purpose, but also your higher self, staying aligned, staying kind, staying out of the crap that's churning. And March will be an evocative month. It's a month of many openings with the beginning of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. The last day of March is when Aries moves into Neptune. That starts a period that'll last 14 years. So this is an amazing month. So steer fear of clear and center on your happiness. And it can be extraordinary as you see yourself through stronger and clearer lenses. And then you see the world through those same lenses. So thanks for being part of this. I've got a trilogy activation on the equinox, March 20th, and you can sign up for that. And you can do the first activation that was just last week. They were amazing. And our MARC classes, Keys to Ascension, today or yesterday was our last day of that. And we'll be starting anchoring the keys of ascension. So if you want to do something that's quite extraordinary, join us for our Monday Zoom and recorded channeled MARC classes on Keys to Ascension. Thank you and have a marvelous March.